Again, welcome everybody. My name is Jeff, and today we're going to go over using IDX Broker widgets to enhance your niche websites. So for instance, what happens is IDX Broker is registered as being able to work with one primary domain. A lot of people want to go out and buy certain domains based off of areas, buildings, communities, subdivisions, new development. We're going to show you how to utilize IDX Broker without having to buy 5 websites, including 5 IDX Broker accounts, which is going to get extremely expensive very fast. My example is going to be a company up in Toronto area. This one here is going to be Desai Realty, and then he also has several other niche websites for Queens West Lofts, Annex Lofts, East Lofts, Uptown Lofts, and then the last one is North York. So you can see there's a lot of websites on here. There's a total of 6, which I'm sure was very expensive at that time. Basically what he's done is if you notice the way his websites are built, they're all built really similar in design, and then they changed up some of the colors. So you can tell that you're on a different site by colors, basically the header and inside this main function area. But on each of these websites you're going to have showcase widgets. So this is a predefined search. When you create this predefined search, it's going to generate a little script of code that you're going to copy and paste into any of these domains. Once somebody clicks on these properties, it will return all results and all details pages back to the primary domain. So if we were to click on a property that's on northyorklofts.ca, when we click on this, it's actually going to go to a subdomain page off of the primary account. The primary account is Desai Realty, and the custom subdomain is search. So it's going to be on search.desairealty.com / then the details properties. So for example, let's go take a look at this one here for Annex Lofts. If you click on one of these, or sorry, it's sold, it's not search. So when you click on one of these, it does open it up to sold.desairealty.com and the details page. So yes, it did leave that website, but you can also track where your referring URL came from, so you can tell that if somebody were to register or already had an account, you can see that yes, I'm pulling in traffic from these other websites that you have created. So let's kind of go over a few things as how to do that. It can be utilized pretty much anywhere as far as a blog post or a page, as long as it's a website that's designed that you can actually integrate the IDX or use custom script. If it's a Wix website, unfortunately, they don't allow that kind of stuff, so you will not be able to do that without having to iframe it in. So what I'm going to do is I've actually taken one of the scripts. So we're going to, first I'm going to show you how to build one of these, and then I'm going to show you how to copy this script and then how you can utilize it to put it into any other domain. So I'm going to use it, for example, on my domain that I went and copied from this particular account, just for an example. And what we'll do is we'll show you how you can customize it to your website, because my website's entirely different looking than any of these websites or pages, and show you that you can put it on a blog post, a page, whatever it might be, and it would link back over. So a couple of different things we'll go through. As far as creating these, the best utilized is going to be a showcase widget. So there's 3 types of widgets you can use. You've got a showcase widget, which is going to be this right here. This showcase widget is going to allow you to choose how many listings you want to display. For instance, this one here is set in responsive, so as the screen gets bigger, it displays more wide. As it shrinks in, it could go down to 5, 4, 3, 2, whatever it may be, just depending on the size. When creating these widgets, you do want to utilize the responsive widgets, so that way no matter what size page or screen or other website it's going to be on, it will stay within that container. If you do set it to be a certain amount of width of, like, say 1,000, and you put it on a website that has a container that's only 800 pixels wide, it's going to overlap those 200 pixels and kind of make the website look a little bit distorted. So that's an option to kind of take a look at. Another thing that you've got is if you're drawing traffic to these main primary websites, oftentimes when you click on a widget, it's going to change this page. So as I click on this particular property, it actually changed this tab that I'm on So I can't really go back to the listings that I was looking at previously on that website. So when creating these widgets, you've got the ability to choose whether you want to open up a new tab or a new window when clicking on these properties. So we're going to go into the dashboard and we're going to walk you through creating these widgets. These widgets are predefined searches. So we're going to go to Designs, Widgets, and Create. So we'll select the type of widgets that we want. So like I said before, we've got 3 different types: Slideshow, Showcase, and a Carousel. If we want to see the examples of what those look like, this is my demo account. This right here is going to be the Carousel style. So you can display 2, 3, 4, 5 in a window, and it will slideshow through 3, 4, 5 at a time. This style here is what's considered a showcase, where it's one static image and no images rotate, no listings rotate. It stays exactly as you see it. And the last thing is a slideshow. My featured agent slideshow widget is this here at the bottom, and this is where it's going to go through one of them at a time. With it being a featured agent slideshow, it's not going to cycle through it just because of it does take a page reload. So if we were to reload this page, it would do that. On a slideshow of listings, it will display and cycle through them every about 5 to 10 seconds. So you kind of set the time frame between listings. So let's go check it out. So this is my website. So we're going to be adding a widget of properties on a blog post here in a little bit, and we'll show you that it can be displayed on other websites and then function how it's going to work. So let's go take a look at how we've got this done. So the best one for these to display the most amount of properties and fill up a page is going to be a showcase widget. And then you can choose the properties to feature. This particular one, you're going to want to do most likely a custom search, because you want to get into an advanced search page where you have to create something off of a community or a subdivision or a building by using the name. So we'll click on Custom Search, and we want to select this type of page that we want. I suggested advanced search for this particular one. The way that the advanced search page works and creating a predefined search, basically if you can perform a search in the MLS through an IDX feed, you can create a predefined search for it. You can use multiple advanced search fields, so you can get really narrowed down to a area with 2-car garages with 2-story and a master on the bottom. You can add as many of those advanced search fields as long as it's a field that's provided by your MLS. You can set price ranges, so you can do multiples of these. You can create widget and you can put multiple widgets on a page as well. So for this one here, we're going to do my area, so we can do something that we're familiar with. So I'm going to pull all listings from Eugene. I'm not going to worry about a price. I'm going to stay residential. Status is going to stay blank, so it's going to pull in all, whatever's available from that MLS. And for this particular one, we would do an area. So for instance, what I would do for like on my websites, I have, or my demo account, I have some predefined searches already based off of communities for like northeast of in our town, West Eugene homes in our town. So they're kind of divided up northeast. You got as many options as you can do. You can create as much as you want. And we'll pull in North Gillum. So this is the northern area of our town. So this is a particular school district as well. But a lot of people in our area would know, instead of like North Eugene, they would also know there's 2 separate areas. There's a North Gillum area, which is based off of a school and a community around it, and then there's North Eugene. So 2 separate ones. So I'm going to separate this one and get a little bit more close to this one. So if I were to build a website that says real estate for sale in northgillum.com, you know, northgillum.eugenehomes.com, whatever you want it to be, so you can really narrow this down as much as you want depending on the domain that you want. Like I mentioned before, you can also add as many filters as you want. You can throw in additional high school, so it stays in a certain area. North Gillum is only into 1 high school, but there's 2 separate middle schools in this area, so you could choose the houses for those particular middle schools. I'm going to leave mine blank just so that I make sure to have results that come back. When you create this, you get it all set up, but you want to make sure and verify that there is listings for this, so you don't do all this work and find out that, oh, I did a bad search and now I don't have any listings. Click on View Results in a new window. It will open up for you just so you can verify and make sure that you do have listings that came back. So I got 38, so I'm fine with that. I know I've got listings it's going to build this widget from. That's also very good to know about how many listings you have so that you know how many listings to display on your showcase widgets. So we'll go back, we'll close out that tab, we'll scroll down, and we want to go down into here to our widget options. So I mentioned before that you want to make sure and use the responsive into yes. That way it will work on pretty much most domains out there, most pages. Like I said, if you have a 1,000 wide widget and you only have an 800, you're going to overlap. Just to show you an example of how that would work is when you select no, it's going to force you to put down how wide you want to build this, and it's going to stay at that width. You would then select how many rows and how many columns that you want. So yes, you can get in and customize a little bit more and make it exactly like you want it, but if you're going on multiple domains, it can be a little scary because then it doesn't necessarily look good when your visitors come to your website. So the best suggestion is responsive. All right, so we're going to create this one. Widget name, North Gillum Real Estate. Sorting order. You've got highest to lowest, lowest to highest, or order of custom. Basically, the easiest thing typically is just to put the highest to lowest. The width, it will not let you change it. It's always going to be 100% of whatever container is available. Number of rows, it's not going to let you do it. You do have an option as far as columns. How many columns wide is what that is. Rows is going to be up and down, columns is going to be left and right. So if we want to stick with a lower number, it does allow for the images and the widgets to be displayed just a little bit bigger. But if you don't want it to be where you're scrolling through hundreds of pages, you probably want to allow for a little bit more wide so it's not like super large and people are scrolling forever. So we'll do 4 wide. Now you have the option here of number of listings. The maximum number of listings that you can build on a widget is going to be 100. Somebody scrolling through 100 listings on a widget, that's a lot of listings. Another reason why we did a preview is we were able to see how many listings that there were based off of that criteria that I put in there. 38 was what was there. If we put in 50 and you have 38, it's only going to pull in those 38. It's not going to, and it's going to block it at the bottom. It's going to quit at the bottom. Say if you have 50 allowed listings here, and there are 75 listings that are in this widget that you're building on your results, it's only going to display up to those 50. So kind of depending on how you want to do it, if you want to stop and display a certain amount, that is completely up to you. If you want to make it look kind of uniform, if you're doing 4 columns and you want to limit it at 20, you're going to put, that 5 columns to make that 5 by 4. Completely up to you. Some people don't like the very bottom row only having 2 when it's supposed to have 4. So I'm going to put mine just at 50. Actually, here, we'll do this just for the example. We'll stop it at 20, so it should show 5. You have 2 options down here. Open widget links in a new window. That's where I suggest yes. When somebody clicks on that one, it's going to go back to that primary domain on a new tab. So when somebody wants to close that out, they can go back to the page where they already were and not have to scroll down in case they were halfway through the page. They can kind of look and see where they were at. Display view results in a new link. So at the bottom of these widgets, you can click on display all results, and it'll open up a results page of all those listings. That's a good option to have, so if somebody doesn't want to see it in a thumbnail style, they'd rather see it in a row style, that gives them this option. All we'll do now is we're going to click build this widget. Now this little script that it generated, this is what we're going to copy and paste and put on another domain. We'll also take and preview it just so that you can see exactly what this would look like. So you can see there we did a maximum of 4. So my container is pretty big actually, as far as what I have allowed. I don't have a sidebar on this particular theme. If you had a sidebar and it cut it down to, say, where it's 3 wide, it would actually shrink the images down a little bit and display them right within that little container. So you'll see we've got 5, so we end directly with an even number. So it looks good all the way across. Here's our view all results. This is an option that you can display or not display, so we're going to do that. But I also had this one open up in the new tab, remember, and now this is going to make it display just like it's on a results style page, where you're going to get a little bit more information and a little synopsis of each of these properties. So another little option for you to do, just to give your clients more options, I guess. So you've got two options. You can grab the script from this preview code, but we'll also show you how to grab it from within your IDX Broker control panel. So say you've already gone and built 100 of these, you've got 100 different websites. You'll go back into your designs, widgets, and you manage, and we'll go find the widget that we created, North Gillum Real Estate. We have it in a showcase. So you can edit this widget, preview this widget, or you can view the code, and it'll drop it right down front. You'll take and copy this little piece of script and embed it wherever you'd like on the website. So for this particular one, I want to grab one that's going to show you going to a different website. So what I've done on this other account is I went and grabbed one of the widgets and I just copied it into this notepad, this little piece of script that we're going to have. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into my WordPress site, my demo account. We'll go ahead and add a blog post. This particular one that I have is going to be for Annex Lofts. I pulled this little piece of script that's right here. And we're going to take this one here and put this on my domain, on my blog post, send it back to DecaiRealty.com. So basically just pretend like I'm putting this on like Annex Lofts or whatever and showing you how to grab that. So grab this script out of here. We're going to go to Posts and we'll go Add New. All right, so you've got two separate tabs on a particular blog post. You got visual and text. What I want to do, I'm going to add mine in here on the visual side of it. So this is basically a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. You can put as much information on here. You can put images. You can embed a video. Same thing with any web page. You can do the exact same thing. Even a front page of a domain, exact same thing. You can put your logo up on the top, put a video, put content, put pictures, anything that you want. We're going to slap this one here in the center. All right, so what we want to do is we want to add, so here's my header for this particular page. Here's all my brief description about it. So after this brief description, I want people to scroll down and be able to view all these listings. So we'll go into the text. We're going to embed this script on here, and then we will go preview it just to make sure. Actually, we'll just go ahead and publish it. I'm not too worried about it. And then we'll go view it. All right, so I created a blog post for Annex Lofts. So right here, so I've got, this will be my header for this particular page. This would be my description about this area. And so now I've got all these listings in a showcase feature. So if we go back to Annex Lofts, you can see his container. So we built this in responsive. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. My website, where's my page at, is a lot bigger of a container. So it shows a lot more columns than it does rows. So we got 8 wide. So it's going to be not quite as tall. And now, so we're on jefftrue.com/annex-lofts. So you can brand this particular website to your niche market. You can actually add custom CSS to any of your widgets. So as long as you are familiar with writing CSS, adding CSS, you can totally customize these entirely like the branded website that you want to build. Or you can leave it just out of the box. This right here is straight out of the box, nothing added to it, no custom CSS. So they're on jefftrue.com, but I am promoting Annex Lofts for properties. I can click on any property, and it's going to take me back to sold.decairealty.com. So I hope that I was able to explain that clear enough for people to understand how to utilize one account with multiple niche market websites without having to spend a whole bunch of money for every single domain that you'd like. Is there a way to display results for a condo building that has 2 addresses? That's kind of a tricky question. It depends on the MLS, first of all. If the advanced search filters provide the condo name or the building name, sometimes you can pull it in only off of the building name. Sometimes it'll be a couple of different names in there for the same building, like, North Building, South Building. When you run into condos, sometimes it's better to use the polygon search tools as long as that MLS has that building displayed with geotags. So that way when you draw the polygon around that particular building, it'll pull in the listings that way. So it's a kind of a case-by-case basis on that one. We can help you out and determine what's best for that if you run into that issue. But like I said, every MLS is going to be a little bit different. I wish it was a lot easier because it's better for clients building these pages and drawing traffic to them. Is there any other questions I can help answer? So it's a pretty simple little thing to do. It's kind of complex, but once you kind of break it down, I hope I was able to break it down enough to understand why you would do it this way and the ability to create. And this isn't necessarily for just niche websites. You can use this on your own blog posts for niche areas. So if you want to get hyper local with your communities, another great way of doing it, create a blog post for newest listings in such and such an area, create a showcase widget, target that particular neighborhood, put in the highest price to lowest listings, and it's always going to stay refreshed. That blog post could be 8 years old. As long as your account's still active, you got that embed script in there, it's always going to show new listings, even from a blog post that's 5, 6, 7 years old, whatever it may be. Keep in mind, basically like on my example website that I have, we have the different communities in my area. Got Junction City Homes for sale. I could create a blog post just for Junction City Homes or do a website for Junction City Homes for sale, depending on what you can buy for those domains. Drive traffic to them, get your listings embedded in there, let it do its work. You can do your pay-per-clicks by individual pages, individual blog posts, or full websites if you do those niche market websites. Can you sort by agent? If you have an office account, that's a great question. So if you have I think this is where you're going with it. If you have an office account, 100 agents, those agents have their own websites. You want to create a featured listings widget for a specific agent. Absolutely you can. I can go show you how to do that one really quick. I don't have any agents on mine, so I'm not sure exactly how well this is going to work. We'll go try it out here. So anyway, I clicked on Showcase right here. Properties to feature is going to be featured properties, but you can also do featured agent properties. So when you do this, you'll select, okay, so I did have them. So I don't have any listings for any of these guys. So if I go select my name, I can build this widget, Jeff's Listings, set it to responsive, maximum of 100 listings. I can put like 5 because I don't have any. Number of columns, we'll throw 50 just to do it. Open links in a new window, yes. Build this widget. You'll copy this script. If you have, say, idxbroker.com is my company real estate website. I also have as an agent website, I got jefftrue.com, but I don't want to go pay for that particular account, but you still want to work together in this particular account. You can copy that, paste it into your agent website, and it'll drive traffic back to that office account, and you can also capture your lead from that coming from the agent website as well. Hopefully that answers that particular question that you're doing. I appreciate everybody joining me today, and keep a lookout for more webinars. They are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you guys. Have a great afternoon.